So today we are going to start our class with the topic caste and social change. Though caste is considered a static system, it has undergone changes because of the forces of modernization. Few points are as follows: caste and industrialization. The process of industrialization has affected traditional Indian society in a number of ways. It means when we came to industrialization, then we found that Indian society, the traditional Indian society or the tradition of Indian society has been affected by this. It has particularly affected the caste system. Basically, the most significant change has been the gradual shift from caste categories to class categories. Here, we can take the example hiring or recruitment of any employee is on the basis of education, knowledge, and capability. Here, employer does not hire or does not recruit any employee on the basis of caste system or caste category. Means now it is the time of class. Class according to the education, knowledge, and capacity and capabilities. Means i- if you are from a lower caste or you are from any of the caste, it does not affect your career path. You will be hired according to your qualification, includes education, experience, knowledge, and capacity. Next is caste system and urbanization. This point is very closely related to industrialization. Here we can say closely related to industrialization is the social phenomenon of urbanization, which is the movement of people from rural area to urban areas. People are getting migrated from rural area to urban areas. Urban living promoted formal relations between individuals. Here, again, we can take the example of any metro city. People come to metro city for employment. They come from different places and start living together. Neighbors from different caste and religions are there. They do not bother about caste system or religion system. They live together in any society or apartment very happily. Next, caste and the political system. The Indian constitution is based on liberal values such as equality, liberty, fraternity, secularism, and citizenship. The Indian constitution gives every individual the right to vote and right to participate in elections. It means our political leaders can come from any community, any religion, any caste. Again, some qualities should be there in that person, like leadership quality, decision making quality. So, political system or the constitution set of rules, set of laws allows each and every Indian to participate in election and give right to vote. Next is caste system and social movement. Social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, and Dr. Ambedkar, Periyas, Narayana Guru, and others have led a number of social movements to remove the oppressive caste system. It means these are people and are ideals who have worked for removing the caste system from the society. There was a movement called Mahar movement. Mahar movement, it was run in the state of Maharashtra. It was for the upliftment of untouchable people. Next, caste and social change. Sorry, caste and social change. Continue. Caste and modern education. The modern education system inculcates value of equality, fraternity, liberty, and social justice in the students. Students come together in modern schools. Just a moment. Schools for studying and interact freely with each other. They do not discriminate on the basis of caste, religion, or gender. Here again, we can take the example of any educational institute. Schools and colleges have students from different caste, different background. There is a reservation for SC/ST children. Here, SC stands for scheduled caste and ST scheduled tribe. There is a reservation for SC/ST children in educational institutes, and of course, special grant of for courses. Special grants and scholarships are also provided to these sections for their educational empowerment by the state and central governments. Why? Why this reservation policy is available? Because these section of the society are the less privileged section of our country. That is the reason government gives them reservation in education sector. Like if any institute has any professional course and they have 60 seats over there, then some number of seats are reserved for SC/ST, some are.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, could I please ask for an explanation about SCST? I don't know what do you mean about that?
Yes, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Scheduled caste is a category which is known as which was known as Shudra. It means they are the lowest caste in Indian system or Indian society. They are the lowest caste of Indian society. And scheduled tribe means tribes. Do you understand the meaning of tribe?
Yes.
Yes, scheduled tribe again, very people from scheduled tribe means again a uh, lower in numbers. Like we have different tribes in India, Bhil, Gond, and Senthil. These are the name of the tribes. Come under scheduled tribe. I will send you the exact definition of SC and ST in your WhatsApp. Would it be okay with you?
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you very much.
I'm making a note. I'm making a
Thank you.
note and I will send you the details. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Now, as we move to our next point, that is the state as a social institution. Here, state means a nation or territory considered as an organized political community under one government. A community or society politically organized under one independent government with a definite territory can be called a state. The state is a special institution which serves the interest of the whole community or a class of society. Here, simply we can say state means we are talking about a nation or we are talking about a country. Now, four essential elements of state are: number one, people or population, mean citizen of that country; territory, government, and sovereignty. In next slide, I'm going to explain all these 4 points. Population. All states must have a population. No explicit or fixed figure can be considered as the ideal size of population. There is no rule or political practice governing the number of persons necessary to entitle a community to recognize as a state. It means in any nation or any country, there is no fixed figure for population or size of population, right? Anybody who is staying there is included included in in the terminology population. Next is territory. Territory is another essential physical constituent of a state. Territory of the state consists not only of the definite portion of land but also includes water and air space within its boundary. Here we can say territory, we can take the example of territory of India. The Indian state means, generally we find map of India. We know what are the boundaries, what is the size of India exactly in kilometers, but only portion of land is not the territory. It includes water and air space also. For water space, it's like it also extends in addition to a distance of 3 miles into the sea from its coast. Coast means port, beach area, an area called the territorial waters. If any country which is situated side the sea, here we can take the water space distance of 3 miles from the coastal area. Next, government. A mere mass of people occupying a practical portion of territory does not constitute a state until the people have organized themselves politically and established a civil government. There must be some political agency that commands and regulates the governed who obeys. The government exercises the authority of the state. Government is a narrower term than the state, being only part of it. The state includes both the government and the governed. The government is the established form of political administration of a state. It means, suppose number of people are staying in any piece of land, but they do not have set of rules and regulations. Now it would be very difficult for them to live together and for anybody to control them. So here we find the concept of government elected by people of that country or people of that territory. They have some set rules and laws, regulations, which everybody has to follow. Next is sovereignty. It means the supreme and ultimate power of the state by virtue of which it may command and enforce obedience. It is this which distinguishes the state from all other associations and organizations. Sovereignty is characteristic of the state, not of the government, though the government on behalf of the state may exercise it. There can be no state without sovereignty. People have the supreme right to take decision on internal as well as external matters. Here it means the population of any country is on the top. Why? Because it is the people who elect the government or who elect our leaders. People, any political party will come on the power on the basis of voting system. So the power of electing any political party depends on population. Role of state and impact on their institutions. The state takes the responsibility to provide all the public goods such as education, healthcare, drinking water, basic infrastructure in both rural and urban settings, and provide social security. Basic infrastructures, here we are talking about modes of transport, by road also, by uh, rail also, or by air also. Means whatever we need, it should be provided by the government, including social security. Social security, how will it come? It will come through some laws, rules, and regulations. Our next topic is constitution and law. Law can be defined as a rule defining correct procedure or behavior. The system of rules which a particular country recognizes as regulating the action of its member. No group of people can live longer in peace and tranquility without such rules of conduct. Rules need not essentially require to have been in written form. These can be in the form of traditions and conventions as well. Here, laws are divided into three categories, or we can say the law that govern the conduct of human beings under three categories. One is moral law. Moral law is a system of guidelines for behavior. These guidelines may be or may not be part of a religion, codified in written form, or legally enforceable. Like moral values, help your family, help your group, return favors, be brave, defer to superiors, divide resources fairly, and respect others' property. These are what? These are law, but they are not in written form. This moral law comes from our moral value. Next, social laws. Social law is a body of laws, rules, and regulations that establishes and distinguish the value and safeguard for those in society who are economically vulnerable. Means these are the rules and regulations which basically safeguard those people who do not have much access to any facilities. Corporate law, competition law, labor law, family law, and social security. Here we can take the example of labor law. See, if you hire someone for a work or for a task, then definitely you are going to pay him or pay her. How would you decide the wages? You want generally the person who hires someone wants to give less money, and the person who is doing work or who is working hard, he wants to get more money. So here we have concept of labor law, means minimum wages is decided by Constitution of India or Government of India. I do not remember what is the exact rate of minimum wage or what is the minimum wage according to the labor law nowadays, but it was a time when 850 rupees was decided by the government for the work of 8 hours in a day for unskilled labor. Next, political laws. Political law comprises election law, voting rights law, and campaign finance law. Here we can take the example of any political party and the worker of that party, or, or people who are working for that party. Our constitution provides us the freedom for voting system. Means we have right to whom we want to give our vote, and by this constitution only we get a right to elect any election also. As we move to our next points is legislation, executive, and judiciary. Here you should know the basic meaning of these terminologies, then only you can explain it. Number one, legislature, a deliberative body of persons usually elected who are empowered to to make change or repeal the law of the country or state are known as legislature. It is the most important of the three organ of the government because it represents the people and tries to represent their hopes and aspiration in the shape of laws. It is the official rule making body of the political system. Means basically these people or this system is elected by the people of the country, and they have rights to make rules and regulations which are necessary for the population. Next point is executive. The executive is the part of the organization of the government which is concerned with the enforcement of the laws enacted by the legislature as well as general administration. With the conversion of the modern state into welfare state, the functions of executive have enormously expanded. Few of the functions performed by executive are as follows: maintenance of law and order, protection of country, maintenance of diplomatic relations, the enactment of the laws, the right to grant pardon, amnesty, reprieve to the persons punished by the law codes, formulation of national plans for greater prosperity of the country. Here we can take the example of our political leaders, which are who are in some position in our country or in ruling government, like prime minister of any country, president of any country, forces of any country. What are their functions? First, maintenance of law and order. Protection of our country is the function of armed force. Maintenance of diplomatic relations is the function of foreign services officers. Enactment of laws, function of police force. The right to grant pardon and amnesty reprieve. These are the main rights which are only with the president of India or president of any country. Suppose any person who has committed some crime and in result got life imprisonment and he is asking for forgiveness. So the lawyer of that person will appeal or will send an application to the president of the country to grant pardon. Means ask him or ask her to forgive him or reduce the punishment. Formulation of national plans for greater prosperity of the country. It is the function, basic duty of all the bureaucrats or all the people who are in the position of administrative department of government of India or government of any country. It is their responsibility to formulate the national plans for greater prosperity or for development or for growth of the country. Our next point is judiciary. The judiciary is the most important organ of the government because it is through the judiciary the justice is realized as defined by the law. The term judiciary is generally applied to designate those officers of government whose functions is to apply the existing law to individual cases. Here, judiciary means collective judges, collection of judges, or a group of judges. It is the responsibility of these officers to discover the relevant facts in any case and protect the innocent from injury by either the legislation or the executive branch of government. It means whenever we find that a crime has been done or any wrong practice has been done and police or cop has arrested someone, then it is the responsibility of the judiciary system that they should discover the relevant facts and protect the innocent from injury. Here injury means punishment. The main functions of judiciary are administration of justice, means how justice should be given to any person or any individual. Protection of the rights and liberties, protection and interpretation of the constitution, protection of federation, and the advisory role to the executive. Whenever whenever the topmost officers find that there is a need of new rules or new laws in any particular area, then this is these are the officers or these are the people who plays the role of advisor to the executive. Here executive means the main topmost person. Again, here we can take the example of Nirbhaya case. Before Nirbhaya case, there were different rules for harassment cases or rape cases. But at the time of that case, a committee has been made known as Sinha Committee. Justice Sinha and the member of this committee made so many drafts for changing rules and laws. And they made open discussions for these rules. They started doing changes according to the discussion, according to the debate, and final draft was presented. And then in that particular area, means in the case of harassments, new rules was applied or executed. So here the Justice Sinha Committee has placed the role of advisors. Next is citizenship, rights and duties. What do you mean by citizenship? In modern societies, by contrast, most people living within the borders of the political system are citizens, having common rights and duties and knowing themselves to be part of a nation. So, a proud citizen of any country means you have some common rights, common duties towards your nation. Rights Rights are the social requirements of a social man or a woman for the development of his or her own personality and society at large. There are two aspects of rights, personal and social. Rights have a social character and are given only to the people living in society and working in the overall interest of the society. Example, right to education, right to use of public property. Here, right to education. Again, we can take the example of our own country. In our country, every person has right to education without any discrimination. If any family or parents take his child to the school, specifically government schools, then nobody can deny the admission. Either a male child or a female child, both have equal right to education. Next, right to use public property. There are n number of public properties which are available for the citizen of India. Here we take two examples like railway facility. Railway is a public property. We can use it by paying something. Means there is a ticket system. If we want to travel by train, then we have to buy a ticket. And everybody has equal right to use this public transportation. or public property. Another example of public property is community park. Community park or park situated in your city, maintained by government, can be used by anybody. Means you can go there, you can go there for a walk. If there is a space for exercise, then you can do exercise also. Or if you just want to go for running, then there should be a running path also, and you can use it. Sometimes people use this public property without knowing the rules. Means you should, this is our moral duty, this is our moral duty to keep clean that area. Means we should not litter here and there, we should not throw the garbage over there. Everybody can use public park for walk also, for running also, and for exercise also. Next, duties. There are no duties without rights and no rights without duties. A duty means an obligation imposed by law on an officer or a private person. As such, duty presupposes that one is capable of knowing the rules. It means if you are using the rights as a citizen of any country, then you must have some duties towards your nation also. Here we can take the example of income tax. We should pay our taxes on time. It's our duty to pay all the taxes on time. Generally, government make a certain timeline for that or decide some date for that. So we should pay all our dues as taxes on time. Another example, perform voting duty. If we are getting the voting right, so it is our duty to go and vote for any of the party. Next, not to damage public property. Again, this is our duty. We should not damage any public property. See, damaging a property, either a public or private, it's not justified. And for public property, then definitely for public property, we have our duty to make it safe and secure. Next, democracy, allied theory, and power. Democracy. Can anybody explain what is democracy? Democracy, a system of government by the whole population or all the eligible member of the state. Eligible, why we are using this word eligible? Because we have voting age in India, that is 18 years. Means after 18 years of age, you can perform your voting duty. You are eligible to give vote, typically through elected representatives. Abraham Lincoln projected democracy as government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Means we are selecting people, or we are selecting government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Allied theory. Allied
Ma'am, it
theory
will be
claims that
similar
the
to
personal quality of,
self-government.
yes, yeah, yeah, ask me.
Ma'am, I'm that it will be similar
Sophia,
to
kindly
self-government.
type the message. Your name is
Sophia, I'm not getting your voice very clearly. Please be loud.
Ma'am, I'm saying that it will be
Sophia,
similar
your
to
network is weak.
self-government.
No, it is not similar to self government. It is democracy is means we are electing or selecting people from ourselves only. Means we are people who are in ruling party, they are from the population of India only. They are coming from the population of India only. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Democracy in Hindi we say democracy means loktantra. Now you understand?
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Next is allied theory. Allied theory claims that the personal qualities of individuals separate the rulers from the ruled people. The elite owe their position to the superiority of their personal characteristics or attributes. Here it means elite means generally known as upper class people or the most eligible people. They have personal qualities or individual qualities like leadership quality, decision making qualities. So these qualities separate the rulers and the ruled people. Means ruler are the elite people. This theory says that rulers are the elite people and rest of the population is known as ruled people. Later version of elite theory place less emphasis on the personal quality of the powerful and more on the institutional framework of the society. Here, the meaning of this statement or this sentence is new version or later version of the elite theory says that any political leader is not that important. Now the political party is important because political party is a institution. It's an institutional framework of society. The elite takes major decisions which affect society. Here elite takes major decisions means people who are in topmost position, they take decisions for the society and society get affected by those decisions also. Next point is, for this elite theory we can take the example of our ruling government. At the time of Uttar Pradesh, which is a state of our country, at the time of election, Uttar Pradesh, BJP, the political party, Bharatiya Janata Party, they did not disclose the name of the candidate for CM, Chief Minister position. It means they are giving importance to the party and rules of the party. They are not giving importance to an individual. They said the spokesperson of that particular party said, for us, party is most important, or winning of the party is most important. After that, we will disclose the name of chief minister candidate. A candidate who is going to be your chief minister would be decided later. It means the topmost leader of that particular party has given the importance to the party, not to the individual. And after winning the election, they announced that Yogi Adityanath is our candidate for CM position. Now you understand the elite theory?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next point is power. Power means strength or the capacity to control. This first sentence is the general meaning of power. It is described as the ability of an individual or group to fulfill its desires and implement its decision and ideas. It involves the ability to influence as well as control the behavior of others even against their will. Here we can again take the example of ruling party. Government is made by Bharatiya Janata Party this time. They are in power to control the population. They are in power to influence the people. Sometimes people are not willing to work according to their decision, but still they have power to control them and ability to influence them also. Here again we can take the example of removing of 370 section 370 from Jammu and Kashmir. They did not go for debate on this point, on this concept of removing 370 from Kashmir. It was their election manifesto that if we come in power, then we remove 370 from Jammu and Kashmir. And they did it. After getting power, they did it. Some of the people of Jammu and Kashmir were against of removing this section 370 from their state, but the ruling party did not take them in consideration. They have given enough explanation about it and they removed this section from that state, from that 370 from that state of Jammu and Kashmir. So here ruling party has shown its power to control the population. Another example, at the time of public gathering, and public rally, the police force of that city has power to control the crowd, to control the public, to control the mob. Next is welfare state. Here we are going to study few points: liberty, equality, and justice also. Now, welfare state. A welfare state is a state that is committed to providing basic economic security for its citizens by protecting them from market risk associated with old age, unemployment, accidents, and sickness. As a response to mass democracy, the welfare state can be viewed as stemming from demands for greater equality and recognition of social rights to welfare services and socio-economic security. It means basically this welfare state term is originated after the Second World War, and basically it was from British country, Britain. It is from Britain. After the war, n number of changes took places. So it was a responsibility of the ruling government to provide some basic social and economic security. And later on, other countries also started using this terminology, welfare state. Some main services provided by the welfare states are as follows. the direction and extension of a range of social services, including social security, national health services, education, housing, employment services, and welfare services for elderly and disabled people and for deprived children. This point, first point, is clear or not by itself, or I have to explain it? Tell me.
Ma'am, can you please explain it?
Should I
Yes, ma'am.
explain
Please
it?
explain again. Yes, ma'am. Please.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Here we can take the example of our own country, India, or any country. So it is the responsibility of government to provide basic social security and social services. Here means national health services, means health care facilities or medical facilities should be available for each and everyone or for every citizen of that country. Free education, free primary education almost available in every country of the world. Housing means everybody should have shelter. Employment services. Nowadays, this is the main agenda of the government, providing employment to the qualified people. And welfare services for elderly and disabled people means welfare services, there are n number of schemes which are available for old age people, elderly people. And disabled means people who are handicapped in any manner, physical or mental. And for deprived children means orphan children or children who are from less privileged society. The maintenance of full employment as the paramount aim and policies. Maintenance of full employment means government should have the policies, rules and regulations that everybody who is qualified for any employment should get the employment. See, if you do not have qualification, right, and you are asking for employment, you are demanding for employment, what kind of employment you will get? You will get the employment at daily wages worker because you do not have any qualification. If any person who is qualified or who has qualification or who is eligible for teaching job, then definitely he or she can demand the job in private sector also or public sector also. Means he can apply because he is eligible for that job. If there is a employment news for or there is any vacancy, then definitely he can apply for that. But any person who does not have qualification or eligible or who is not fulfilling the criteria of that particular employment, he cannot go for that interview or job requirement. Suppose there is a doctor, qualified doctor, wants to practice in public sector, then he has to go to the employment news that is there is any vacancy available, then he can apply for that. But a normal plain humanities subject graduate cannot go for that employment. Maintenance of full employment as the paramount aim and policy of the welfare state. The program of nationalization. What do you understand the meaning of nationalization? Means we should have, or each and every citizen of that country should have the belongingness, the feeling, the sense of belongingness. I want to take a 1 minute break as a water break, okay?
No problem, ma'am.
Okay. We were in third point, a program of nationalization. Here we can say the industries or the manufacturing units which are working as individual entity or a private entity. So government is making rules, or government is preparing some rules where these units would be coming in public sector. Means you we are doing a program of nationalization. We are making it available for anybody. Basically, nationalization can be defined as the transfer of major branch of industry or commerce from private sector or private ownership to government ownership. Initially, here we can take the example of Air India. Air India started by Tata Group, and government, the ruling government of that time, make it as a public sector entity. So Air India came under the flagship of government of India. N number of industries were available that time or were there, which was which were working as a private manufacturing unit or a private industry. But after this rule of nationalization, they came under the flag of government of India, and each and every person who were working there or who was working there used to say, I am working as a government officer. Means working with those companies or organization was like working with government organization. Next is liberty. Liberty is the state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life, behavior, or political views. Sometimes it is identified with the absence of re- restraints, a negative meaning, and sometimes it is identified with the availability of certain socioeconomic conditions in which men or women may develop their personality as a positive, in a positive meaning. Means giving liberty to your, here we can take the example of any teenager. When we say parents of this boy is giving him liberty to go anywhere, now what? It depends on this boy, that how he would take how he would take this freedom, means he is using it in a negative way or a positive way. If he's wasting his time by roaming here and there, means uh, he's developing a negative character or negative meaning, because he is wasting time. Wasting time in that age is not good. And if he is doing some social work and join some community, join some club which are working for underprivileged kids or for any section of the society, means he is getting some value addition which would be helping him in his personality development. Equality. Equality is the state of being equal, especially in status, rights, and opportunities. Equality means each individual or group of people is given the same resources and opportunities regardless of their circumstances. Few points are there. The end of special privilege in the society means nobody will get uh, extra important treatment. Everybody is equal, everybody will get equal opportunities and equal facilities. Adequate opportunities are laid upon to all, and each may develop his or her personality. Here we can take the example of employment sector and educational institute also. Equal opportunity is given to each and every member of the society so that they can build their career. Either they are from any either they are from any caste, religion, or any section of the society. Discrimination should not be on the basis of caste, religion, social status, and gender. Every citizen of India or every citizen of any country should get equal opportunity. All must have access to social benefits and no one should be restricted on the ground. It means social benefits, again, everybody can take the examples or can take the benefit or take the facility given by government of government of that particular country. Nobody is restricted on the ground, or no one should be restricted on the ground. It means each and every person who is citizen of that country can use the public property, can take the advantage of public policies, and can get equal rights without any discrimination. Now, justice. Justice is the concept that individuals are to be treated in a manner that is equitable and fair. It is ethical, philosophical idea that people are to be treated impartially, fairly, properly, and reasonably by the law and by arbiters of the law. Here we can say the Constitution of India or the legal system of India says everybody is equal. They will be treated without any partiality, very fairly and properly, reasonably by the law and by articles of law. It means if the police force find or police of any city find a person who is guilty in first place, but it is the duty of our law system or duty of our judiciary to see each and every fact and then decide that person is guilty or not. And till the time that person should be treated without any partiality, by without any influence. Next is education. The state provides the largest number of educational institutes in our country. The state in India, through its constitution, had laid permanent provision of education for minorities, scheduled caste, and scheduled tribes. No citizen shall be denied admission into any educational institute maintained by the state or receiving state aids on the ground of discrimination. It is the duty of the state to provide free and compulsory education. See, free and compulsory education till the 12th standard, or n number of rules are there till the primary education. Here we are not talking about education which is related to profession or any professional qualification, right? If you take, or if any parent takes their child to any school for the admission, then it is the right of that child to get education, free education in government schools or any schools which is getting aids, means which is getting fund by the government. Here, not the principal, vice principal, or the academic or admission counselor can deny the admission of that particular child. When we talk about professional courses, then definitely there are some eligibility criteria regarding the scoring marks, regarding the entrance exam, or regarding some extracurricular activities. So here we cannot say that someone wants to take admission in medical college and he is not if he is not able to clear the entrance exam of that college, still he has right to get the admission. No, this free education policy is for the children, not for the adults. In our country, generally, students pass 12th standard at the age of 17 or 18. So, this free education policy is for the small kids, 3 to 5 years of age, and till the time they are getting education till 12th standard, or sometimes till primary education, means 5th standard or 8th standard, right? Here we cannot say, or we cannot use this free education policy for professional course because they have some eligibility criteria. Next is nationalism. Nationalism means a feeling of pride and belongingness towards one nation. It is a feeling of oneness or togetherness. It is a result of shared common culture, land, and history. Individuals feel a sense of pride and belonging in being Indian, British, American, Canadian, or Russian. Generally, we say now that I am a proud Indian. Why? Because we have a rich culture, rich history related to our country. So here, feeling of pride and belongingness towards our nation, towards my nation, is reflected in my words or by my words. Next, civil society. Civil society comprises all independent, voluntary, and private sector activities that include individuals, households, the media, business, and civic institutions and organizations. Civil society organizations have been responsible for advancing political freedom, safeguarding basic rights, enhancing civil institutions, and furthering social development at a much lower cost than the government. Civil societies, we can take the example of school administration system. School administration system gives the right or gives the freedom to the students or their parents to get admission over there. If we talk about government school, fee is very less. Very nominal fee they charge for the education. And all independent, voluntary, and private sector activities where any individual is working, or media houses, businesses, civic institutions, they all come under civil society. What is their duties? Their responsibility to safeguard basic rights of an individual. Community organization. The community based people organizations are also important contributors to good civic governance. These organizations are defined as democratic organizations that represent the interest of their members and are accountable to them. It is the people themselves who initiate these organizations and formulate their programs. Example, healthcare agencies or social services group. Here we can take the example of NGOs formed by three friends or four friends from the same institution. Now what? If these friends or group of people want to work for education of underprivileged children, then they set up a committee or set up a organization or any agency. They have decided that we can ask people and volunteer this service. They provide education or they teach underprivileged children in slum area in evening hours for uh, to educate them, right, so that they can come into mainstream. Children who are dropouts, school dropouts, or children who could not continue their schooling due to some reason, like for poor financial condition, or nobody is there to take care of them, or any of the reason, if they are drop out from the school. So these friends have decided that we will teach them in evening hours after our college or after our job time, 7 to 9. 7 to 9, they go to that slum area, gather the children, and started start teaching them. They are giving them basic education. So, and so that they can come into mainstream, so that they will be able to take admission in any formal school. Now here uh, what is the rules and regulations? Means they themselves has established an agency or any group, and they themselves have decided the rules and regulations. So it is a very simple example of community organization. It can be religious also. Sometimes some religious groups also work as a community organization. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me a minute. Our second block of this subject BSW-122 is completed now. Okay. In our third block, we are going to study about the marriage in first unit. Okay. Marriage. Marriage
Ma'am,
is
you
a
will share the
common
PDF
term.
with us.
What? What are you saying?
Ma'am, I'm writing down.
Marriage. Marriage is a common term that we come across in our daily life. What is marriage? What is the meaning of marriage? Marriage is the legally or formally recognized union of two people as partner in a personal relationship. Marriage is not an integral part of human nature, but it is a man made custom or institution which was present even in prehistoric times. It means marriage is a man made custom. It is decided or it is made by society. The marriage institution is made by our society. It is not a natural relationship but a conscious commitment between a man and a woman. With the advancement of civilization, marriage became a social function with religious and legal sanctions.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
Sophia written something in the message box. She
one
said,
minute, let me see.
yes, ma'am. She told me.
Yes, Sufia, I'm going to share these PPTs with you. In last class, I have promised you people that I will share within a day or two, but I have some technical problem. That is the reason I could not share it in WhatsApp group. Give me some time.
No problem, ma'am.
Before completing this session means before completing these classes in coming week, I will send you the PPTs which we have already studied. Okay.
No problem, ma'am. No problem. No
Okay.
problem.
Few concept or few meaning or few definitions or few general concept of marriage are as given below. Marriage as a relationship. Marriage is one of the deepest and most fulfilling of human relationships. It means marriage is a relationship between a man and a woman. Marriage as an institution. Marriage is a union of men and women, their bodies, minds, and souls, emotions, and desires. The essence of this union is love and affection. Marriage is considered to be a primary relationship because it is a personal relationship between the partners. Marriage is a relationship which does not have any blood relation. Understand? This is made by choice. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
The biological aspect of marriage. Looking from the biological point of view, we can say the marriage is for reproduction. Marriage is lifelong, comprehensive, loving union of a man and a woman leading to the procreation of children, means bearing and rearing of children. The main biological aspect of marriage is to give birth to the kids and upbringing of those children, those kids. The legal aspect of marriage. The union between men and women must be legitimate. So, marriage should get legal, social, and civil acceptance. Legal sanctions of marriage based on prevailing social norms and custom. It varies from one society to another society. Now, why we are talking about legal system or legal aspects and the variation from one society to another? Because we have so many religions. Every religion have different custom and rituals for marriage function. We have rules according to the religions also. Like we have Hindu Marriage Act, where the rules and regulations for Hindu marriages, means people who belong to Hindu community, then what kind of rules and regulations are applied for their marriage is known as Hindu Marriage Act. In Muslim community, they have marriage according to their religion, known as Shariat. Here, we are not going deep into these acts or these customs. We just talk about the legal aspect of marriage. Legal system should give should provide social and civil acceptance to the institution of marriage. The functions and purposes of marriage. Marriage for union and procreation means rearing and bearing of a child, and union of two people, one male, one female. Marriage for companionship and friendship. Companionship and friendship is a personal feeling towards another one. Here, we are talking about companionship, means every individual needs someone to whom he or she can share his thoughts, his feelings, or his other desires. So, companionship and the friendship. For both the purpose, a marriage can be done. Marriage for socialization. Socialization, again, we have studied about it. Marriage provides the facility of socialization. Socialization means interacting someone. Marriage for matured relationship. Here, maturity means physical maturity, mental maturity, and financial maturity also sometimes. In our next slide, we are going to study about the family. The family is composed of persons united by the ties of marriage, blood, or adoption. This point, this statement, or this concept we have already studied. Now, the functions of the family. The family is the basic unit of society. Today's family faces lots of problems and issues due to the social change. Functions of the family are as follows. Provide for the reproduction of the race, means again rearing. We are talking about rearing and bearing and rearing of the children. Passes on the cultural heritage of the group, means transmitted your cultural values from one generation to another generation. Provides physical security, protection, and the material opportunity for living and growth. Here, we can say the system of family provides security and protection to the children who are dependent on parents. Material opportunities for living and growth, it means providing facilities for development, living, and growth. Meets the deep emotional needs of both children and adults for their overall development. See, we, apart from food, shelter, and clothing, we have some emotional needs also. What kind of emotional needs? Means any individual want to share his thoughts, feelings, and has some rights to get love and affection also, bonding, mutual relationship. All these desires is fulfilled by family. Children and adults both can have these kind of desires. See, the kind of love and affection we get from our parents, nobody can give us. And the kind of respect, love, and affection people get from their children, nobody can give them. So it is mutual bonding, mutual relationship, their emotional needs develop in its members socially desirable character as a good citizen. It means it is the responsibility of, or function of, or duty of a family to bringing up the child as a good citizen of that society. Give children moral values, cultural values, teach them about their customs, rituals. All these qualities, all these things make that child a good citizen. Develop an or- orderly system of living among its members with provision for eating, sleeping, school and work. Orderly system, it means they provide the facility according to the age. For infant to very young age, the basic need is system wise: food, shelter, clothes, love, affection, and providing health care, medical care also. When they are at the age of 5 or 6, then getting education. At the time of college going age, provide them professional qualification or professional, or make them to go for some professional courses. For the elderly people, provide them care and medical facilities. So develop an orderly system of living among its members with provision for eating, sleeping, school, and work. Here we can say, we can talk about division of labor also, division of responsibilities and duties also, because all are dependent to each other. Next, develop sound relationship among member of the families, means maintain the harmony in the relationship. It is always two-way relationship, give and take. See, if a parent, either mother or father, always shouts on children, then slowly, gradually, children would stop respecting that person. Sound relationship means a healthy relationship among members of the family, either a small family like nuclear family or a joint family. It is the function of the family. Behave accordingly. Next is, this is a very important topic, and debate is endless. Choosing a partner. Marriage is a lifelong commitment and relationship, and hence the selection of a partner is very important. The choice of an ideal partner is one of the basic requirements for a successful marriage. So, here we can discuss some points which are directly related to the selection of a partner. Number one point is maturity. Physical maturity means age. What is the right age to get married? According to our Constitution of India, 18 years is for female and 21 years of age is for male person. But in common practice, generally, we find girls are getting married after 22 to 24 years of age, and boys generally 26 to 27 years of age. See, we are not going to discuss about the age here. We can take the age as 18 and 21. It depends on person to person and their parents, that what is the right age, but it should be according to the law. After 18 years of age, any female can get married, and after 21 years of age, any male can get married in our country. Now, emotional maturity means control over the emotions. N number of situations are there where we can lose our temper. So, emotional maturity includes the control over the emotions. Next, social maturity means behavior with others. How he or she is treating others. Intellectual maturity, problem solving skills. N number of problems, up and downs generally come in the way of married life. So, a person should be intellectually matured. Next is health and physical structure, means should not have any illness or health issue, either physical or mental. Caste and religion, same group of people who follow same custom and rituals. Depends on the individual and his or her family, that if they want to get a partner from the same caste and same religion, or they are ready to get married with someone who is from another religion. It's depends on family to family and person to person. Social and economic status. Here, financial condition. Basically, it should not be the ground of choosing a partner, but still it's available in our society. And economic status also the same thing. And should not have any criminal background. It should be a ground. It can be a ground. See, everybody has right as an individual to get married. Maybe though he has done some crime or she has done some crime, but still he or she has right to get married. But generally people check this background, check this thing, or check this point, that another person should not have any criminal background. Education, here we are talking about formal education, that we are talking about any degree or diploma or a professional qualification. Next point, which is very important point, behavior patterns, character and conduct. Character in married life means sense of humor, the ability to love, honesty, responsibility, concern for others, give and take attitude, cheerfulness, discipline, faith in God, fidelity, openness, and values in life. Here, values in life means moral values, social values, cultural values. This point is
What
a
is
very
fidelity
controversial
openness?
point. Fidelity, openness means we should not have any, uh, what should I say? When we use the word narrow minded people,
Oh, yes.
narrow minded people, do you understand? No.
Yes, ma'am.
Ha.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
We
ma'am.
can we can connect this point with fidelity, openness. Fidelity, openness means, or you can say, means the loyalty, or you can say the fairness towards someone. समझ रहे हो आप?
Okay.
Means the quality of being faithful, the quality of being fair, or the quality of being loyal. Loyal, you can say, is very close to honesty, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Like work for that.
they should not be have conservative thoughts. Conservative thoughts is equally related to narrow minded person, or we can say that narrow mindedness is conservative, orthodox. This point is this behavior pattern, character, and conduct. This is a very controversial part, a controversial thing while choosing a partner, because nobody can judge. Nobody can judge any individual in short period of time. And time to time, habits get changed. Here we can take the example of consumption of alcohol. Any individual can start consuming alcohol in any age, at any age. Eating pattern, eating habits, it can be changed at any age. A person who consume alcohol, or a person who become habitual of alcohol, then in our society it does not come under good behavior pattern. I think everybody is agree on this point. We are talking about our Indian system, our Indian society, right? Suppose a person who does not consume alcohol till the age of 30, and he gets married at the age of 25. So after marriage, 5 years of married life was good according to his spouse, his wife. But after that, his behavior has been changed.
Yes, ma'am.
We cannot debate on this. Or
Ma'am, again, Sufia sent something. She's saying me to see comment. Tell me.
what is the age of being mature? Again, I'm telling you, this is a point of debate. Physical maturity, we can say it is decided by our law.
No, ma'am, like mental.
Mental maturity, it comes by education, by life experience, or by wisdom. We cannot say anything about mental maturity.
Ma'am, like
Basically,
still some people say to
physical,
me that you are not that mature enough.
it means you are not
Like
able
my
to
friends.
control, you are not able to control your emotions. You are not mature enough.
Yes,
when we
ma'am.
when we say that you are not mature enough, or you are not that mature, it means you do not have control over your emotions. See, here I can
Yes,
give you
ma'am.
the example
Exactly.
of a social worker. A social worker who is working with a differently abled child or differently abled children. Now, she has attended one seminar where a couple has come and talk about their life. They have three children, one son, two daughters. The youngest daughter of that family was dumb and deaf by birth. So, and the family is from a very good financial background. They want to give her proper education, but that girl could not clear any school admission test. And that time they do not have we do not have right to get admission in any normal school for those kind of kids. When the couple was talking about their daughter, parents, husband and wife, mother and father, they were talking about their daughter, and they found one solution. Uh, there is a school near to Chennai, which provide education to deaf and dumb children. So, at the age of 3 years, 4 months, they have taken their girl child, their daughter, to that school.
Ma'am, again she written something.
Yeah, I'm explaining it. What happened when they were narrating their story that at the age of 3 years and 4 months, they had to leave their daughter in boarding school. So it was a very emotional decision for the betterment of their daughter. And at the time of coming back, the principal of that school said, do not look behind. If you look at her, then you will not be able to go. By listening or after listening this story, each and every social worker, specifically that particular social worker, started crying. Means she did not or she could not control her emotion for this girl child. It is not emotional maturity, it was the feeling of that social worker. Suppose we see some situation where we find that somebody is doing something which is very uh, childish behavior, then everybody start laughing. It is individual behavior which shows the emotional control. Got it? Clear it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So should we conclude now?
Yes,
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good night,
thank you,
everyone.
ma'am.
Good night,
Good night,
ma'am.
ma'am.
I'll
Take care,
take your
ma'am.
leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye, ma'am. Sophia was suffering from network issue, ma'am.